If I told you to say the first Minecraft mob that came to your mind, you would probably say something like zombie, creeper, or skeleton. If not any of those, one of the 59 other mobs currently in the game. One thing I bet you didn't know, however, was that an additional 16 mobs were either used for testing purposes or nearly implemented into the vanilla game itself. In today's video, I will showcase all 16 lost mobs, some you may have heard of, some maybe not. Let's jump right in. I'm going to split the mobs into 3 categories: added but removed, currently in the game but not implemented, and completely scrapped ideas. We will start with the added but removed group. Hayden Scott Barron, better known as Doc, was a former employee at Mojang. He is best known for his work on various prototype mobs before leaving the company. When he left, however, so did the 4 mobs he created: Rana, Black Steve, Steve, and Beast Boy. Rana was a mob who resembled a little girl with a frog hat and was originally in-game as a test in Endev. It is worth noting, however, the same goes for the other 3 mobs Doc created. Rana was created by Doc for a project of his own years before, and when he joined the Minecraft development team, he recreated her in a new style for the game. Rana was also the first human mob to use human pain sounds when taking damage. Rana, like the other mobs created by Doc, moved without any animation. She sometimes dropped apples and roses, but other than that, nothing else. Black Steve, Steve, and Beast Boy were all pretty much the same, serving no apparent purpose and sometimes dropping string, feathers, sulfur, or a flint and steel upon death. I don't know about you guys, but I'm glad Minecraft mobs didn't end up looking like this. I'm personally not a fan of his models. Moving on from Doc's work, we have the very first Minecraft mob, the Human. Human spawned when G was pressed while playing Classic mode, but this feature was later removed in the survival test versions. Humans cannot create nor break blocks, and would only move around the map aimlessly, walking in slightly imperfect circles and jumping occasionally. Humans were only affected by solid blocks, but strangely enough, not fluids, walking through them as if they were air. Sometimes they even decided to attack you. Here's a human fun fact for you. In beta 1.6.6, the changelog contained a message "removed Herobrine" for the first time. This was Notch joking when taking out parts of the code for the human mob. This and the following 3 removed Herobrine messages that appeared in slightly later versions remove the individual class files for the human, making it somewhat of a default mob. It could still be spawned, but it possessed the default health, spawn conditions, melee attack, view distance, and various other parameters shared by all other hostile mobs at the time. The removed Herobrine message was mentioned for the final time in beta 1.8, where all the code for the human mob was disabled and or removed, and the ability to hack the mob into the game with spawn commands or spawners was no longer. The Steve Villager hybrid was a mob that remained in the game files from version 1.0 to 1.1, and its use was most likely to test the villager mechanics. It had a faulty texture, but if it was made correctly, it would have looked something like this. That's it for the mobs that have been removed from the game. The next section is about mobs that are actually in the game currently, but not implemented. What I mean by that is the mobs exist in the game code, but don't naturally spawn. You have to use a summon command or spawn egg to see them for yourself. Zombie Horse is the zombie counterpart to a normal horse. They are obviously a zombie variant, but unlike other zombies, they will not burn in sunlight or chase villagers. They were finally implemented in the aquatic update with their own spawn eggs. Again, you won't find these in survival mode spawning naturally. Giants, put shortly, are just huge zombies. Their model first appeared in survival test versions but was quickly abandoned. Before their AI was removed in beta 1.8, their only method of attack was to charge endlessly at a player. Giants have 50 hearts total, half of the Ender Dragons, but still equally deadly. They are capable of being spawned with a summon command and third-party programs such as SPC, but they cannot spawn naturally due to requiring a light level of both greater than 11 and less than 8. The hitbox on the model itself only includes the giant's legs, waist, and stomach, and any attacks that make contact above this point will not cause damage or even hit it. Illusioners are one of 5 types of villagers in the game, the other 4 being the Vindicator, Evoker, Pillager, and Ravager. Like other Illagers, the Illusioner looks similar to a villager, except with a pale gray skin texture. An Illusioner will attack players, villagers, and iron golems, firing its bow at any enemy about 12 blocks away. It blinds players with its first attack and will continue to shoot at its target while, and this is where it gets interesting. While creating duplicates, the real illusioner will cast an invisibility effect on itself, which lasts about 60 seconds, refreshing the effect whenever it expires. Finally, we have the Killer Bunny. The Killer Bunny is a reference to the Killer Rabbit of Carbonog from the movie Monty Python and the Holy Grail. If you have seen the movie, you know how incredibly dangerous this bunny can be. As you may have guessed, these are simply bunnies with a few key differences. The most obvious one being its taste for blood. On hard difficulty, they can do a whopping 6 hearts worth of damage in a single hit, and it's also faster than a normal bunny, which will make it very hard to get away from, oftentimes leading to a quick death. The final section I will cover today is the scrapped ideas. These are ideas that have never even made it into the game at all. This section is a bit tricky since I'm sure there are many other unreleased ideas, but this is everything I could gather up. Pigmen were supposed to be pigs in humanoid form that inhabited villages. Although not implemented, their skin can be found within the game files, and their cousin zombie pigmen have been a part of the Nether since the Minecraft Alpha 1.2. It has the same dimensions as a player, and has no coding present within the game that spawns it. Although a pigman could be made from a pig struck by lightning in earlier versions, the feature has since been removed. The Red Dragon was a mob planned by Notch for a future update. However, since Notch's departure from Mojang in 2014, it became uncertain whether the plans for this mob died when he left the company. The final 3 mobs I will be showcasing today are grouped together. At Minecon 2017, there was a mob contest consisting of 4 mobs: the Monster of the Ocean Depths, the Monster of the Night Skies, the Great Hunger, and the Hovering Inferno. The Monster of the Night Skies ended up winning the contest, and that mob became the Phantom. The Monster of the Ocean Depths was a planned ocean creature that would suck players down with its tentacle. The mob was planned to spawn in a deep ocean biome and have a large mouth that it would use to propel itself through the water. It was eliminated after the first vote. The Hovering Inferno had a bit better luck but was eliminated in the second vote. It was to be a type of blaze, with its body parts looking like shields used to defend itself from attack. This mob would spawn with groups of blazes randomly and ambush the player in the Nether with its dangerous shockwave attack. The contest was now down to 2 contestants, the Phantom and the Great Hunger. The Great Hunger would have been a lizard-like creature that sinks into the ground, camouflages itself, and consumes mobs and items with its huge mouth. Its main feature would be, interestingly enough, to add or remove enchantment from players' own items. As of now, those are the lost mobs of Minecraft. Out of those, how many did you know about? I personally knew only 6 or 7 of them before I did research to make this video. But anyway, that'll be all from me. If you enjoyed the video and would want to see more videos like this one, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. It truly means so much and gives me the motivation to make more content. All feedback is also appreciated in the comments below. I also have an Instagram that I might start using regularly in the future, so make sure to check that out in the description. Possibly some behind the scenes content could find its way there. If you're interested, stay tuned every Saturday at 12:30 p.m. Central Time for new videos. Again, thank you so much for watching.